This is Eggs on Toast
with Alex and Ethan.
Welcome back to Eggs on Toast, guys. I'm Ethan.
And I'm Alex.
Hope your day's been well. The weather's treating us pretty nicely here in the state of WA.
Yes, it's a beautiful day.
Summer's come early.
Yes, it has. Thanks for tuning into the episode today. We've got a few cool things to talk about. If you're enjoying the content, please follow, like, subscribe. Whatever you're consuming this podcast on goes a long way.
Yeah. So me and my mates have been... I wonder if I'm ever going to get that email from that bloke. I can't even remember what the code word was or anything.
That wasn't a code word?
Yeah, it was like send us like a word like banana split or something.
Oh. I thought you were talking about the business. Remember the business?
No. Yeah, we've had a short-lived business. Dude, I just don't think that's actually like a viable option.
I think it is if you actually like try every single day. Like eventually you'll get traction. That's cowardly.
You know what I want? I want to like create.
I want to be the laziest money earner in the world.
Nah, I prefer to. I was thinking about this. Oh fuck! I've just lost what exactly. I was thinking about like, wouldn't it be great to like make money as well as help people?
Of course.
I think often things are made to not be a helpful device. Oh, that's what it was. I was watching this video about color grading. And just like the mistakes people make, especially when they're starting off and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And it kind of made me think about, because I was realizing, man, it's like it's really difficult and arduous. Like it's a real task almost. It can feel like that to watch these educational things when I want to learn about it, and it's something I'm interested in, but like to
simply watch the video.
Well, compared to if I like literally I could put a Mr. Beast video on, it would be easier to watch because it's coded to be the easiest,
purely
most addictive
entertainment.
thing.
Yeah,
it's not entertaining.
Whoa. Okay.
It's garbage.
That's an opinion.
You know, it's not. It's rubbish content in the way that it's like it's not giving you anything. It's just rubbish.
Like it's ultimately still rubbish, even though he sets a new bar.
You know, like he's definitely sets bars in terms of types and ways of creating content, and he's done some good things and good movements with his power and money.
Well, it's interesting you bring up Mr. Beast because he does like
he's actually
philanthropy.
I was going to say
he just had the controversy with the wells in Africa. He built 100 wells in Africa, and then like the countries he went to, like Kenya and Nigeria and like numerous others, Cameroon, is that one? He was receiving like backlash and hate because it was like almost like a discredit.
He's making it too goddamn easy for these.
It was discrediting to the governments of those countries because it's like, oh, you're saying just a random guy can do it and not you and not like us.
What is all this? But if that's
and
what
then
it
people
truly
like
was about,
people were generalizing, saying like, oh, Mr. Beast is saying Africa's still poor. But it's like, if these people need wells and clean water, then he's doing a good thing.
God, sorry for helping.
Well, I just brought that up because you were saying Mr. Beast
makes
garbage content.
I think his content is pretty garbage, but the things that he does in it are... Like, the way that the content is made is like... I guess he's almost... he's not a good example. He is a philanthropist, but I don't think he makes like good quality content.
Right. Okay.
He makes content that's really easy to consume and super addictive.
But okay, and then going back to making money and doing good with that.
So, like in terms of like educational content on YouTube, I feel like the goal is like, how can I make this as exciting as possible whilst still providing a really informative package of information?
Gotcha.
And I think that's like this. I think that's pretty obvious to say, but like that sounds like this. That seems to me, and in that moment of watching the color grading video, I was like, if this was, and the guy was doing a decent job, but I was like I think the secret sauce would be, how can I make this as entertaining as possible without it detracting from the quality of the content, without it detracting from what I'm talking about. And if people can leave actually learning more because they're more engaged, then I've done a better job than if someone has given something that's really informative but not super exciting because it's really hard to pay attention and stay concentrated for a long period of time when on YouTube, if there's other options like Beta Squad or Sidemen instead, you know?
Yeah, I get you. Well, I think Mark Rober is a great example of that. And he even like explains that in his videos. He's like, I bring you in with like an appealing thumbnail and like a clickbaity title, but
has he said this on like Colin and Samir or something?
No, he said this within his actual videos. No, I don't.
They do like YouTube analysis stuff, and they get like bigger YouTubes and ask them
explain the YouTube process.
Yeah,
cool. Well, Mark Rober,
not just YouTubers, but
within his videos, he like spills the tea and goes like, "I'm bringing you in with the thumbnail and title, but then I'm secretly actually teaching you like physics and engineering, and like I'm literally being I'm being entertaining, but I'm underlying it with actual lessons about, like, for example, he is a mechanical engineer, so he applies a lot of what he did at like when he worked at NASA. He would apply the things he learnt there in some of his videos. Like he made like a hot tub that's like a hot tub full of sand, and he talks about like how the sand goes from like a sand pit that like can't be moved to like when you apply air pressure in particular points, it becomes like this soup that you can like swim in. And he discusses the physical
what are those
ways that is achieved as an example.
What are those fluids called? There's a word for like that those types of fluids that
he would have said
solid
he would have said it in the video. Yeah. And he also
Stuff Made Here.
No.
He makes more like a bit more scientifically focused or like mathematic. Maybe it's a bit more complex the way that he describes things or like the way that he makes things. So like he makes similar things but maybe a bit more like Colin Firth?
Yes.
So like
the actor
Colin is his name? No, that's Colin Farrell.
What?
Colin Farrell.
Colin Firth is from like Kingsman.
The British guy. Oh, Colin.
Yeah, look it up. Yeah. But another example of Mark Rober is like, those like mousetrap cars. He like talks about those as like competition. Like he gives you tips on how to optimize that and make a good mousetrap car.
And injects physics within that.
Exactly. So he talks about like mechanical advantage, how you want to like, you'd rather lift a 10-pound weight 10 times than lift an 100-pound weight once. It's like it achieves the same force, but it's just over a longer distance. Like stuff like that, where you're secretly learning about physics.
Sure, and
it's great.
Like not losing energy and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So I'll go.
Colin Firth. He's like a British actor, isn't he?
Yeah, you're right.
But you're trying to talk about like another like podcaster?
No, he's a YouTuber.
I thought you might have been talking about
Colin Furs. This guy. Have you seen him before?
Click on videos and then most popular. Did he build an underground? I have seen the underground bunker in his backyard.
And then he did like upside
He's
magnetic
great.
shoes that like can
really?
walk on
That's
like
cool.
upside down.
There's even like I did a thing where he makes like I made a bear trap boot or something.
So they're like he's more like he's like a rogue engineer, a backyard scientist, one might say.
Yeah.
And then you've got the guy Stuff Made Here, who is an engineer by like trade, but he stopped doing engineering because probably within like the first couple months of he like released one like his first video. Yeah. His first video 3 years ago got 1.3 million views.
That's so good.
And then it's just been constantly millions of views every single video. So like I made a curved basketball hoop that always goes in. Or like steel capped Crocs.
Even like William Osman. Have you heard of William Osman?
Yeah, for sure.
He's like funny.
I think he's a coder. Like he codes. This guy's more like probably for the autistic community.
Oh, great.
Stuff Made Here. He's more like
I think it's fascinating that you can have an engineering degree and then make the transition to YouTube and like still apply your engineering degree into the content.
Yeah, it's
Like,
just
you
about
need to
how
be-
seriously you do it.
You
I
need to
guess,
be
as
more
well.
YouTube minded, because that's obviously like an aspect to the business and the career. But all these engineers or like whoever, like even animators or any sort of business or career choice, you can translate to YouTube.
It's such like it seems like such a big commitment to, I guess, because I think he was doing it initially in between work, like Mark Rober,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
crazy.
He still worked
dude.
at NASA and he was still making,
He was
because he only
working at
uploads
Apple.
once a month.
He was working at Apple.
Mark Rober.
He worked at Apple
I
for a
don't
while.
think so.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Really?
And
I know
when he
he
got
worked
the
at
when he got the
NASA.
job at Apple, they were like, "But we need you to stop making videos." And he's like,
Really?
"That's not gonna happen.
I didn't know
You
that.
can't control that."
Wow.
And then I think he left after that.
He went full time, and like
Yeah.
I remember him saying
He's made a business out of it.
he's now got he's got Crunch Labs, which is like a kid's like it's a monthly subscription box, and you like build cool toys and stuff.
He's killing it.
Bang!
He deserves. I think he deserves it.
100%.
Yeah, he's a.
He did
good
like a
content
fundraiser
maker.
for like with Jimmy Fallon for like disability support beyond like high school, because his son has autism, and he was like, I need to, like, he was like, I was scared to even talk about this for so many years. He's known as like the best like uncle. In all his videos, he's like, I want to be the best in my pursuit to be the best uncle. I did this or I did this.
Yeah.
But he never talked about his son. And he was like really scared to talk about it, like in the public eye of YouTube, because it's a scary place. You can get a lot of criticism and unnecessary hate.
Nastiness.
Exactly. And then he did a fundraiser with Jimmy Fallon. It was like a live stream, and he had all like traditional celebrities like Jack Black and Andy Samberg and those sort of celebrities, and then he had lots of YouTubers as well, like Mr. Beast on it as well. And he was raising money for like disability, like career paths post high school, because apparently beyond 18, a lot of the resources and like money in that sort of area like falls off dramatically.
Sure. I guess in particular America, I mean, their system's kind of not really the most optimized. I think in Australia there's a lot more facilitation around, or there's a lot more help around facilitating activities and stuff for people who need it.
Absolutely.
Like there's even there's share houses of people with disabilities that then have like a support worker who comes and like does overnight living with them and stuff like that. And I think that would be more probably like what OTs do as well.
Occupational therapy.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So where like you're qualified to be able to handle so many people for a certain amount of time and like have all the role and know which different people need different things.
Yeah.
Like their needs, I guess.
Is that something you'd want to get into ever?
No. I enjoy it as it's definitely not
as a
something
part-time
that
job.
it's not something that I see as like a career for myself.
Fair.
Maybe like a business around that.
Yeah.
Because there are like holes in the industry, and like to not sound shallow or like a bad person, like it is a profitable.
Yeah.
It can be a profitable business.
But you can also
what's
reinvest
cool is
all those profits to build up the company. Or do you just want profit?
Yeah, I want profit.
Who doesn't, man?
No, but I think what's good is like you don't feel like you're doing the right, like you feel like you're doing a good thing because you are.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if making profit is like a byproduct of that.
But if you're doing a good thing, not to do the good thing, is it at that point even a good thing?
Sure.
But I get it, dude. That's
but I think
that's any entrepreneur or any businessman's
you find a hole in somewhere.
Mindset.
You find a hole in some industry. I can fill this hole.
Yeah.
And then it's like, because I mean
those holes are getting harder to fill, by the way. There's so much. Like, the world
So
is running
true,
out of
bro.
ideas. Like, you need to innovate. I saw this ad on Instagram, and it was this smart dog tag, and you put it on your thing. Never runs out of battery. It's got a QR code on it. And
Never runs out of battery.
No, sorry.
because it
Sorry,
must have like a little
it's
ticker.
it barely uses any power. It's like a tiny little tracker. It doesn't consume a lot of power, so you might have to charge it like overnight once a month or something. But you put it on your
Dude,
pet.
they should make it like a clock where it has the like pendulum swing that charges it.
That's cool. Anyway, and
That's the extra
and it's
idea.
a QR code on it, and anyone with a phone can scan it. Tells the person when it's been scanned. Like, it sends a notification to the owner's phone.
When and where?
Yeah, and the person who finds the pet, whether it's lost or whether the dog or cat is lost or whatever, it shows all the information. So it shows the dog, shows the age, shows the owner, shows
Not
the area
address.
of the address, and it shows like the contact.
It's good to not be
No.
like straight address.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
What is that a Shark Tank thingy?
No, I just saw it as it would totally run as a Shark
Dude,
Tank thing.
I saw like I'm sure you've seen ads for like
Just free marketing this episode.
air freshener, not air freshener, smelling like the water, the scented water.
Air Up. Yeah.
That looks
Like,
pretty good.
I need to try something like that, because you can get like cups that are like that. You can get ones where the straws are flavored, so like it's a little bit in your mouth, but you're also smelling the straw. So like, but yeah, it's purely
Really?
water, but it's like scented.
I like that Air Up is like quite reusable though.
Yeah.
I wonder how many times the pods can be, like those click-ons.
I've
it's a
been
one-time
meaning to
use,
try
man.
those things.
It's not even
Because
that expensive.
Really?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
But like
I have seen those. Those
dude,
are cool.
like that's definitely something I think.
If that can get like a kid to drink more water to be healthier, then I
Or
think that's
anyone.
great. No, but I think that's a good business model, because it's such a wide market. It can literally be for anyone.
Sure, and then
But-
parents can be like, oh, they can like they'll have more fun drinking water.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some kids don't like water, man. They need that prime. Well, they need that sugar drink.
We need the prime. Give me the prime.
That's you, bro.
That's Hasbullah.
Ah,
Do you reckon Hasbullah's gonna get sponsored by
prime
Prime?
athlete? Maybe.
Magdamed.
I reckon Logan and JJ are like trying to get in contact with him. I think
They
that would
haven't
be
had a
great.
podcast with him, have they?
Nah.
I think
You
Khabib would
can't,
hate.
because you need a translator. Because you can't speak English. Can we not bring up Hezbollah?
Was that weird to edit the
No,
last episode?
No, it's just like we gotta.
How are our numbers
We
doing?
can't bring him
I
in.
feel like we've.
Let's not talk about this on the pod.
I feel like it's I feel like we need to start
I think
marketing.
it's TikTok, bro. We just gotta make
Dude.
TikToks.
Dude, I think it's honestly like this podcast is like
How many people do you tell? How many people have you told? Like, sorry to interrupt, but
no.
how many? Like, I've told maybe 10 people.
I was going to say probably 10,
Yeah.
15. I
I just need to like rip off the band-aid and just say, "Hey, everyone, I do a podcast now." That's it.
dude, like
I'm scared to even tell my friends about it, man.
I
Like,
tell.
Is that like I don't even tell?
I was at the Halloween
like,
party.
I told Lockie over messages like maybe a week ago, because he brought up something and I was like, "That's funny. We just talked about that on the podcast." So I was like,
Is it?
"Oh, by the way, I do a podcast."
Yeah, I tend to try and because I know like what the instant perception is. Two
Yeah.
white boys starting a podcast.
I know,
Like I
yeah.
get it.
I get it too.
I get it.
I get it too.
And you know what's even funnier is that we feel different, and we're probably not. You know?
Yeah.
We
like,
obviously
well,
are. We obviously are, but it's like,
I
we're still
totally
a
get what you
walking
mean.
stereotype.
Yeah. I
Or
agree.
sitting stereotype.
I agree.
I think I think we have I think knowing us, we have room to grow in a certain direction
Yeah.
that is just like even the interests that we have is just like slightly different than people maybe not our age, but
I think as it goes on, we're gonna be more film centric,
I think so.
because you're an actor and a writer, like
Yeah.
aspiring. As well as I am doing a film degree, I am hoping to eventually step into a production, show my
Yeah.
ability at some point,
Mm.
and then eventually, try and direct a film or
I found
write a film or both.
would you be interested in cinematography, like DOP, director of
Yeah,
photography?
I think
I used to
Bec-
think that was just the person who scouts the locations and takes
Yeah,
photos
no.
of the locations.
They're like setting up the shots and.
But no,
Yeah.
DOP is like the cinematographer.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's interesting that I am now getting to learn about all the individual roles that encompass the creation of a film or a TV
Yeah.
show.
And you'll be able to focus your efforts into
Exactly. I can.
certain pots.
I've condensed my passion and desire down to filmmaking, and I feel like I can now condense that down into a particular role. Whether that's me trying out different roles, like obviously to start with, I'll be like a production assistant or an intern, and I'll get hands-on experience. I can be on a film set, learn about the process, but
Just
not
get
actually
your-
partake,
just
and
have
then
your
work your way up
face-
the ranks.
Have your face be recognized.
Exactly. And then just have my foot in the door of the industry,
Yeah.
and then work your way up the ranks. You know, get in a writer's room, be an assistant producer, you know, and then it's just making moves, man.
Second AD and shit
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
And that's just being someone's, like, that's just like being basically admin for
Yeah.
the director. Like, you're not doing any directing.
I think
You are
Yeah.
literally the assistant of the director.
yeah.
That's the job.
Yeah. Assistant director? No, assistant to the director.
It's assistant director, but you are being the assistant to the director.
Of course.
It's not. You're not going, oh, what about
They're
this
just
shot?
delegating tasks.
Yeah, you're not like, oh, I have an idea.
But you're still being like
Soup.
one-on-one
crucial,
with
very
the
crucial.
director of a film. That's great. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. Going back to
Talking
that,
to friends about it. Do you want to?
Yeah, going back to talking to friends. Like, what does that say about
How
who
you
I
feel?
am? In terms of like, I'm scared to even tell my friends about this.
Why do you think you are? Because of the judgment.
It would have to be, man. That would
Yeah.
be part of it. Like,
I tell people if
I'm
they,
scared-
Like, I just talk about, like, I'll pick and choose moments of, you know, if I do just, if it's going to like hold up conversation or something. But
absolutely.
like,
Oh
if
yeah, I'll
I'm-
bring it up
if I'm
it's
saying,
natural
if
or
someone's
important.
like, oh, like, what are you doing today? I've got a podcast.
Yeah.
Some people I won't tell them, especially if like they're new, like I'm meeting them new.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, of course. Yeah. No. Yeah.
It just depends how they know me. And if I've got time to explain, yes, I'm aware of the stereo, like of
Yes,
how typical
of
this
course.
is.
Even my family, I'm like, my mum and my dad asked me like, "Oh, what are you up to today?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing some filming with Ethan." Like, I don't
Dude,
say
why don't you
what
tell them
I'm
you got a
filming.
podcast?
I have now told them, but like for the first like 2 months, I was just like, "Oh, I'm just doing some filming today."
What I've experienced with everyone I've told is like honestly just like positive reaction,
Yeah,
and people go, "Oh, that's awesome."
Yep.
I
would agree.
Yeah. I haven't, and even if people have been skeptical, obviously it's like, and I feel it like the right to you and Alex starting a podcast, like classic.
Yeah.
I'll
feel
still
that.
be like, yeah, I get it, of course. And I think pointing the elephant out in the room definitely helps, because I think at first that they're like, oh wow, he really doesn't see the, like,
We see it.
we
Trust,
see it.
We see it.
we see it. But there's no point dwelling on that fact. Like,
No.
yeah, when we start the TikTok up, because that's what we were talking about, hey,
Yeah.
that got us into the friend conversation.
Yeah.
I think, like, yeah, we're kind of sitting on some decent clips, I think.
Sitting on probably like close to 20 hours of footage now.
I think actually worthwhile clips to post, maybe 50.
Yeah.
Fif-
I would
50 things that I'd be probably happy to post.
Yeah, within 16 episodes, roughly 70 minutes on average.
But we don't have any short segments, which I feel like...
Well,
or we don't... I don't know, do we?
well, we don't have any segments that we do every single episode except the music recommendation
Yeah.
and film recommendation, but that wouldn't go as a good TikTok.
No.
I think we've had conversations throughout the episodes where
It's been like a minute or
that
two.
topic would be good to like, say if it's like a 5-minute conversation, that would be good to cut up into like a 60-second, 2-minute like clip.
Sure. Oh man, I just want to get this audio right. Like, I've just been thinking about it. I think we should get Dion on soon.
When I listen, like, it doesn't sound that bad, but
In the car, it's really rough.
in the car it's rough. Why do you think? You think it's because I'm editing through headphones? It just sounds different.
That's what audio mixing is. Or mixing and mastering is like when you listen to it through different. Mastering.
Oh, like a speaker versus
you put it
headphones.
through speaker. Yeah, a speaker. You put it through your headphones, and you listen to it through like headphones.
So
Like
the car
headphones like these.
Right.
Like you get it through all
So
all
they
different
make-
things to
It
see.
makes it so whatever device you're listening it through, it sounds good.
Yep.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, you're trying to make it a versatile. I guess
You're right. Well, one thing
Yeah.
that's easy
just a
is
bit muddy.
once we get that going, we can like, if Dion's willing to do this, we can like backlog. So like
Yeah.
YouTube might be in the bin because YouTube's annoying. It's like you can't change it. Once it's there to stay. But Spotify and Apple Podcasts, you can reinsert audio. So you can like remaster audio and just re-upload it within that episode. So like episode 5, we can fix up episode 5 and then re-upload the file.
Yeah. I mean,
And it's
I
like
wonder
new.
even if there's like AI like a software you can just chuck it in.
There is Adobe Podcasts which does it, but it's not amazing. Like
sure.
like
It's in its
and
early phase.
especially across like an hour-long podcast, it's like you'd have to listen to that all back, and then if like 1 second of it's like bad, you'd have to
Yeah.
fix that up. But
I feel like we're doing something wrong, even just with like setting audio levels where we're holding the mics, like things like that. I feel like there's
Right.
something.
yeah,
I'm not sure, and that's what I just don't know. And I think Dion
Yeah.
would just be good to get
I
him
don't.
to
Yeah,
talk to us.
I would
about
agree.
that.
I don't think it's a huge deal. I think the state we're in, it's fine for now.
It's
Obviously,
fine for now,
we'd like
but
to
I think
improve
I
things,
think
but-
it's like right now we've got like a 480p video. Like if you're thinking, I feel like visually it's easier to identify.
right.
We've got like maybe like 720p.
Yeah,
and getting it to that crispy 1080
yeah.
changes the game. Like changes it from like being
I would agree.
oh this is a thing to oh this is clean, this is crisp.
It might even be a simple fix for the time being, not a full fix, but a potential fix is the way we render it through the audio
Sure.
application, and
Yeah.
then
No, for sure.
because
you
basically
can
I
put-
render it, I just click render, and then I put it into our editing software,
Mm.
and then edit it through that, and then it exports again. So it's like being double
Oh,
exported.
doubly,
So maybe that that probably compresses the
compresses
audio.
it.
So
oh
you know.
true.
so that could be why. It could be when I'm exporting it through the editing software.
You might be exporting it in a really compressed way. 'Cause
Exactly.
there's also ways that you can export. There's files called FLAC, which
Uh-huh.
is it's like file. It's like file lossless audio content or something like that.
Okay.
Which means that when it's a lossless audio file, it means that none of it's been condensed, so you haven't lost any quality.
Yeah. Right.
When you condense something, it's literally like you're pulling out bits of information from the audio
to lower the overall file size.
Yeah, that's what condensing is.
Exactly.
I was also thinking, but yeah, on the TikTok thing, I think we'll see an instant improvement in just like traffic.
Absolutely.
Or
just because
Traffic
there's more
or just
eyes
like
on
people
TikTok.
responding to like us getting actually like like people going this is shit or
Yeah.
or oh that was funny or you know any
Exactly.
reactions. It's not necessarily that's like a not at all
It's
because
literally
it's a
just free
validating
marketing.
not that it's a
I don't
validating
even-
thing, just like oh cool now we have people that are like looking at it.
Yeah. Like TikTok is a platform where you can be successful on just TikTok. However, for our case, it would just be free marketing essentially.
Yeah.
Like just promotion of the
and
podcast.
like it's literally inevitable that we would get more people.
Exactly. And within those people, the people who will stick around is the people who would appreciate the content and or relate to what we're speaking about
or connect to us
and therefore are actually people who are interested in the show. So
but I was thinking we could do like I wouldn't mind if each week we even like come like I want to have it a bit more like professional in the sense of like we like after the pod we can then do like a 10-minute brainstorm for like a TikTok vid, just like a
Okay.
skit or a bit.
yeah.
I think that'd be fun. I don't know, like
I would agree. I think we could post clips and we could also post sketches. I think
and I
that's a great
think like
idea.
it'd be good to just like it'd be just nice to collaborate like
I had an
we haven't
idea.
collaborated like
Yeah.
creatively like that, and I think
I
it'd
have
be
an
cool.
idea. It's now like irrelevant. Like we should have hopped on the bandwagon ASAP.
Harambe, bit of late,
Yeah,
mate.
man. 7 years late. Yeah, you know how it is. Nah. Anyway, I'll talk about it after, and you know, if you're still interested, we can do it. But
I was just squeezing my boob for like
how are you wearing jeans right now, man? Like it's hot.
because
I'm hot right now.
Shorts
Like,
don't
and
really
this room's hot.
Shorts don't really look very good on the vid.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't really mind. Like I'd rather be comfortable than.
I just don't like how it looks like, especially.
Oh yeah, it does ride up. Yeah.
Or
you're
just
right.
like from
Just
that
the way
angle.
these chairs are. We should just have more cushions, I guess. I don't know.
Are these chairs? Is our set good?
Are you asking me or the audience?
Both.
I actually like it. I think I'm used to it. I'm gonna be sad when we eventually switch it. Like this is like the classic set, you know.
It's like when another podcast goes, "Hey guys, we've got a new set." And it's like,
damn,
no.
this is where you guys have been this whole time. You can't. It's like moving house, man. It's
I
sad.
think we can probably keep, like, I can keep these if I want them.
Yeah.
The big green one I can also keep, but I'd kind of want to sell them because I feel like I'll get a bit of money for them.
Okay.
Like
I was
going
gonna
to
say
like
you could keep the one big one for like a guest.
guests, yeah.
But if you do want, how much money do you reckon?
I think I can get 400 for both of those couches, like together.
Could you sell like one for like 150?
Probably, yeah.
Would
But
you rather have
400's nice.
400 is nice, of course.
You
could just work.
I could just work, but like
when you were talking about the making, like creating something and making it like educational and benefiting the world, I was like reminded of this meme, and it's like, okay, like if you want to make money in this day and age, you have to scam old people. Like that's how it is. That's how it be.
like people who
don't understand AI,
Yeah.
don't understand the internet. Like still, like
that's like
there's people who
definitely
still don't get the
hustle
internet.
culture. Definitely is like mainly about scamming people who don't understand.
It's not actually scamming. It like kind of is. It's not actually, because like they are agreeing to buy this. You're not like You're not like tricking them.
But you're like giving
The
them
line
the
is
hack
there.
to-
The line
Dude,
is there.
I've seen some outrageous claims of like, here's how you will make 400K every month.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to happen.
But if you actually did it, you could make like a couple grand.
Some people might. Yeah. Some people will. But
I've seen like illegal ways to make money. And like those kind of videos are funny. Like, because there is a level of satire. It's like
or
the
not
guy
even
isn't
illegal,
actually,
but it's
person
like
isn't actually expecting you to do this, but like you could actually do it.
the ones where he's like, go to a store, see like what was it?
That's
it was
like
the
today's mission.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
there's a guy who does that, like who's does
Today's
like
mission.
shady ways to make money,
Yeah.
and it's like go around asking people, what is it? Like make it seem like a Mr. Beast video.
Oh yeah.
Like give me $1 or take this, and you get this mystery box.
Yeah, it's like, would you pay me $1 for this mystery box? And they're like, you're trying to convince them there's actually something good in it, and then you just take the $1 and it's like nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
I've seen some good ones where it's like, oh wow, you would actually make a lot of money off that, but it's
Yeah.
like not good.
Yeah.
Like
Unethical.
very morally unethical.
Did you watch the new Rick and Morty episode, bro?
Yep.
What
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Bro, that was possibly the weirdest
It
episode.
was gross.
It was like, I would say the weirdest Rick and Morty episode
They
today.
really leaned into like showing the cutting open of corpses
Yeah.
and eating them.
There's like a meme going around nowadays, and it's like the Rick and Morty writers have like the most fucked up fetishes, and they like low key insert them into their media. Like there's always like, remember in like a previous season, Morty and Summer, who were brother and sister, had like a clone baby together, who's like a giant baby, but it's also like an
But
incest
also,
baby.
then there was Summer like dressed. Like,
in their dreams, yeah.
Not Principal Vagina's dream, but
the math
Hi,
teacher's
Chill. Hi, Chill.
The
that's
math,
his voice.
the math teacher's
Yeah.
dream, yeah. Mr. Goldenfold, maybe.
Yeah.
And then there's like just examples like that. And now there was this one about like
Well, also they all had,
gratifying suicide.
well, they all had
'Cause, like if you
the
commit suicide, you
incest,
become spaghetti.
dragon sex.
Oh yeah. It's just like,
I think
is that just for like?
that the writing this season's been weird. Has been.
I think they're finding their
been
footing.
different. Yeah,
Still.
it feels different. I also saw this good.
The show is a little bit cursed because of the whole Justin Roiland thing, but like
They still have like created by Justin Roiland and.
Did you see that? They got rid of it. It was always on the title screen below the Rick and Morty logo, but they've changed it so it doesn't say it there. It says it at the end.
Yeah,
And I that's obviously because of.
but they
like,
still kept
they don't
Justin
wanna have-
Roiland in.
They kept it there, but they moved it to the end of the episode rather than the start.
They must be required.
And that was definitely
Do you
like
reckon he gets
by
paid
choice.
for? He wouldn't get paid for seasons from now on.
Because he's not. He obviously wouldn't get paid for voice work because he's not doing
But
that.
he must own an entity, like a part.
He
of
would
the-
have a. He would still be getting paid, like
Bro.
either through residuals of the episodes or
Good on him,
through
man.
simply owning the IP. Like he would have some ownership of the IP.
I think even if he isn't guilty, he still seems like a bad person.
I would.
Just from what the crew was talking about, or maybe a broken person.
Yeah, I think Dan Harmon is also a bit broken. Like
Yeah?
he's possibly one of the best writers I know.
I was gonna
Like,
say
he
has
is a brilliant writer.
screenwriting particularly,
He is amazing.
and he has really good theories. Like he's created his own kind of theories.
He made his own like hero's journey, like the wheel.
circle, yeah. And you
It's
can
great.
apply that to each act.
Exactly. And he then like in one of the episodes he
You
goes
can actually
like,
apply it to anything. You
Yeah.
can apply it to like a sentence.
yeah.
To a scene. Like
Wow.
you can apply it to a scene. You can apply it to to a monologue. You can apply it to a sentence. Like,
and in one of the episodes the episode was about a train, and the train was like an allegory for the circle. Like each carriage, like the first carriage was the first part of the circle, and then when they went to the second carriage, it was the second
yeah.
part of the circle, but it's also actually part of the story. Like
Yeah.
it was just brilliant.
Well, and
like
each what's it called? Like,
portion.
where's my book?
Yeah, go. But that being said, he does like again the weird fetishes that
Harmon does.
he subconsciously or like purposefully, maybe purposely for like to build up the the quality, not even the quality of the show, like the dramatization of the show. I think that he puts that on.
Yeah, and it's a good way to just like,
And-
yeah, here we are.
See if there's anything there.
So here we go. So there's eight segments,
There's 8, yeah.
and it's you. Hold up. It's also like in my notebook, I didn't just write verbatim what was said in this. I made it more so for me to make sense for me.
Yeah.
Which I found it. I made it more of like a connective, longer sentence. But it's you is the first one. So establishing the protagonist. Need. Something isn't right. So that's number 2.
Yep.
Go. Crossing the threshold. So now like, so it's like you've met me. What do I need? Now I have to start on this journey.
Mhm.
The journey begins. Search the road of trials.
Yeah.
So so that's your
Conflict.
find meeting the goddess. So how Harmon of him of calling it a goddess. So yeah, go, search, find. That's kind of your next 3 segments, and then you've got take, meeting your maker. So you found the goddess, and then you now. So I guess you found what you've been searching for, but then you because you've been searching for it, you want it. You
Mm-hmm.
try and take the thing, and that then, then you bring it home. So this can be also a lesson. Like it doesn't have to be a physical thing. Return and then
Of course.
change. How master of both worlds. How are you now different than who you were?
Yeah.
And then it ends at the protagonist again. Yeah.
It's good, hey.
Yeah, it's good. But yeah, I've heard he's weirdo.
Dan Harmon.
Yeah, I haven't even researched into it, but I've just heard people say that he's weird.
I've seen stuff about I said I was gonna say I've seen stuff about his marriage. Like he's had a rocky especially through the production of the show. You can even see it on his like production company's like logo when it shows at the end of the episode. Like in the first season or 2, it was him with his wife, and then in season 3 it changed to like him being by himself because he got a divorce.
Is that
And then he got
claymation?
yeah, exactly. It looks some like claymation stop motion, yeah. And then he got remarried, so it's back to him
With
like,
her again?
different wife, yeah. So
What was I gonna say? Dude, the SAG-AFTRA
actors strike's done, yeah. I saw the writer's strike had finished up like a month ago, right?
So they must have all come to a decision and conclusion and
Mhm.
gotten what they wanted.
An agreement, yeah.
Well, it was the longest actor strike ever.
It's crazy, bro. I wonder whether AI will still stay out of
I don't think anyone. I actually don't think
The
there's many
industry.
people who are.
for it.
No. I don't think there are many people who. And I actually haven't done research on.
Either.
I was about to, and then we've started.
The
this.
main two things I know they're striking about was like streaming residuals. Like actors don't get streaming residuals for like a Netflix show as opposed to like when shows are rebroadcast on say TV.
Yeah.
Like the Breaking Bad cast.
So if there's 50,000, if there's like 500,000, 5 million people who have watched a show, they get nothing extra.
Exactly.
No matter how good the content is, it's
Yep.
whatever they've gotten paid for that.
So I'm assuming they came to an agreement about that, and then the other thing was AI entering the industry, like replacing actors, whether background
as
or
well.
main and writers.
And it was also just for writers to get the right pay
yeah,
because they were just being undervalued.
Yep.
And without them, they were that's why they struck. They're like, without us, we're literally showing you. Without us, you're not getting.
and I wonder how the next year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years is going to look for the film and TV industry.
Man, it's gonna be very
Like,
interesting.
is streaming going to stick around? Like 10 years ago, streaming was just starting. Like House of Cards was coming out. Netflix was like the new thing.
Dude, I actually
Video-
kind of hope
Video
streaming.
video rental stores was still a thing. I always went to video rental stores, man. My parents
Blockbuster, Video Easy.
my parents were quite like conservative, and therefore like our technology and like electronics in our household were quite delayed, I would say. Like
I'd agree.
we didn't have a flat screen TV till like maybe 2016, which is like considerably late. Like, which is interesting to think about.
2016.
And then we probably went to the Video Easy store.
See,
which is like a
it's
15
funny
minute
because
walk.
that's not out of necessity for you guys.
No, like absolutely.
It's kind of that's kind of cool though.
It is cool. I kind of got to experience like being a 90s kid, I would say, even
Sure.
without like we still have VHSs, we still had like burnt
Same. Yeah.
CDs and DVDs. We had like a Wii in like the the start of the 2010s, even though it had already been out for like 6-7 years. We didn't get like an Xbox 360 till like 2014.
And you had to buy it with your own money.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
And then didn't get a PlayStation 4 until like 2016, like around the same time as the flat screen. Obviously, I'm still very privileged. I'm not going to question that for a second.
But you're not even complaining about
I'm purely just bringing it
the
up
way that
because
they've
it's interesting that
decided that
there
would
was.
be the.
I felt like a delay in technology. Like we were behind on the times because of the way my family are, as well as streaming. I think we didn't get Netflix till maybe 2017, 2018, which at that point it had already blown up so much.
But within Australia, it was pretty new.
That's true. That's very true.
Remember, like it was literally that's so crazy. Australia didn't have Netflix like less than 10 years ago.
And Netflix dominated, man. And then
like it was
just
like literally an American thing. It was like, wow, Netflix seems so cool.
and some services like Disney Plus haven't even been around for more than like 4 or 5 years. Like Disney Plus came out in 2019.
It's so new.
Like Disney were selling their stuff to other streaming services like Netflix and Stan, who aren't like Netflix. Netflix now primarily relies on like independent shows that like they're selling to, or shows they're developing themselves now. Like most of Netflix's library now is
Original
deals that are drying up, like shows like Breaking Bad, whether that's still there or not.
Yeah.
Shows like that, it's like that's owned by a different company, but they sold the rights. So it's like, oh yeah, Netflix, we're gonna have that on our streaming services for the next 3 years, and you get X amount of money. But then when that dries up, they're not going to renew it because the new streaming service, who's owned by like the company, whether that's Disney Plus or Binge, which is like HBO Max, or
Binge is HBO Max. Isn't it?
yeah, yeah, it's weird with Australia rights and copyright and stuff and companies, and even like what's another streaming service?
Amazon Prime.
Amazon, yeah, exactly, like that.
Hulu.
Oh yeah, Amazon owns MGM, which is like a big movie thing now. So that's
They bought it,
then
bro.
in the mix. And now Fox doesn't exist. Disney bought out Fox for an incredible amount of money.
Really?
Yeah, and that's what
Well,
like
because then they get Fox entity stuff like
exactly.
Futurama and stuff.
And it was almost stopped because of
True.
like the monopoly. It's like Disney now owns so much of the market share. It's like almost considered a monopoly, and they kind of like They kind of towed the line. They're like, we need to own as much as we can without it becoming a monopoly.
Is there like literally a way to
I think it's
quantify
I think it's 40%.
of the industry?
I think if you own, I don't know the actual percentage. Let's look it
Crazy,
up.
bro.
But I'm pretty sure it's some sort of percentage
Stan
like
as well.
that. Yeah. So yeah.
But there's Foxtel Go now, isn't there?
Yeah. It's and again, this streaming has like taken over, and whether this will be around in 10 years or whether like I've seen a bunch of TikToks now where people are just walking around every day with like Quests, you know, the VR like Quest 3,
Yeah.
like they're just walking around with that, and like on one side is like a YouTube video, but there's also cameras in the VR, so you can like see the real world, like how
So they're
we see it
watching
now.
YouTube.
So they're watching YouTube while like doing the dishes IRL, without like having to hold the phone or put the phone next to it. Or like a guy went to a party, rang one, and he was like rizzing up a chick, like talking to a girl.
No.
Like it was so crazy.
That's gonna happen.
It was some Black Mirror.
It's
shit,
gonna
bro.
happen
It's bizarre.
because you know what's gonna happen. It's
Yeah.
gonna become Google Glass type stuff.
Oh, exactly. And then eventually it'll be integrated into our bodies, bro.
And you know what? You know what that is?
Yeah.
Overloading your system with way too much information, way too much entertainment. Humans are not wired like we're not gonna be able to evolve quick enough.
Yeah.
We already haven't, but like it takes thousands of or like hundreds of generations for evolution to
I was
exist.
way off. I think Disney owns
40%.
40%, but the monopoly is 70 to 80, which makes sense. It's like
If a firm has monopoly power, the lower courts generally market share. Wow, 70 to 80. I hope that never happens.
yeah.
I mean, but also, what would happen what would happen if Disney did become a monopoly? It would just then be, well, that's what the industry is. It would just be like, oh, the film industry is Disney,
Mm-hmm.
and they own everything. But it'll be like, it'll become less of like, how do I say it? Like, once you become so big, and your scope is so wide and vast,
Mm-hmm.
it'll stop feeling like it's from Disney.
Yeah. Well,
Does that make sense?
That's what they do.
Because they've got subcontracted
They still keep
companies.
like it's no longer 20th Century Fox. It's just called 20th Century. So when they market movies, they still put the 20th Century, like, you know, the big golden like logo.
I love that.
Yeah, I love it too.
That's probably the best.
We should.
Oh.
I know exactly what you're gonna say.
What's the best? Are my feet in,
I don't know.
boys?
Let us know. What's the best like intro? Oh, THX. You know, it's like brrrr. You know that was
Lionsgate is pretty fat.
like, just like even just the Walt Disney like castle. That's pretty cool.
Or the Steamboat Willie.
And now companies. That's true.
Steamboat
the-
Willie goes hard.
That's like Disney. That's like Disney animation, right?
Yeah.
Even companies now, they're applying the themes of the film into the logo. So like
yeah.
when
DreamWorks is pretty good.
when Incredibles 2, yeah.
Pixar.
Even Marvel updated their logo when
I actually don't like the Marvel.
Oh really?
Oh, it is pretty.
But they change it depending
They
on
do.
what the content is, and then other companies are doing that too now. Like when it was the Barbie movie, it was like a pink Warner Brothers logo, or when Incredibles 2 came out, the like Walt Disney Castle was like Incredibles themed, like
Yeah.
which I find is an interesting strategy to like immerse the viewer.
Yeah.
like,
it
even
definitely
within the
changes
logos,
it.
it kind of makes the experience of viewing because like all
It makes
films
it-
have the logos at the start and like the names. But
So
I
why
think-
not make it integrated into?
exactly
as a
I
part
think
of the
it's I think
movie?
it's a smart decision.
Yeah, you're right. I think maybe it would if I was feeling any withholdings or as to what am I trying to say? Like, oh, your audio's messing up.
Keep going.
I think if I had any like bated breath, I guess, about the companies making their logos integrated within the movies, I think that's just me holding on to like my traditional.
It's true.
I was a traditionalist for a moment there, and then I
Course.
went, actually, you're right. Having it integrated is cool. I think it just feels more monopolized because the monopolies are doing that.
It's true.
Dude, I love a good Warner Bros. But I think what I appreciate about Lionsgate is like it just feels quite old and like vintage.
Lionsgate's different to MGM. Lionsgate doesn't have the
Sorry,
lion,
yeah.
but yeah,
MGM, I mean.
yeah,
MGM just feels vintage.
yeah.
And I really like that about it. It kind of feels like it's sustaining old.
And you don't
Or
see
maintaining.
it much anymore because Amazon owns it. So like it's only like say the James Bond movies, I think.
Oh, sure. Because that's what I mean. But normally they're a lot more. Even like, what's that one with like the arrow guy?
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
The
Yeah,
arrow
yeah, yeah,
flying
yeah, yeah.
through.
I don't know the name,
Is
but I
that
know exactly.
Lionsgate?
Nah, that's a different one.
Or there's the ladder one.
Okay.
You know the ladder one? That's like the pieces that are like spinning and then they all fall in, and it's like a ladder they're like blue.
Okay.
No,
I that might be Lionsgate.
I don't know. But
But there's even like Blumhouse, which have just updated it to show all their IP. Like it shows like the Michael Myers.
I actually really like A24's
Oh yeah.
just because it's so simplistic.
Yeah.
And it's like this is almost like they're almost putting it there because they have to,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're done.
Bro.
Then the movie's begun. Huh?
Yeah. Stop checking out your bicep, bro.
No, I got something poking me. But
I've just
I
got something
will.
here, man. Huge, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm going away
Eggs on
for.
toast strength test.
I would beat you.
Actual?
Yeah,
You think so?
100%.
In what? Everything. A squat.
I think you'd beat me in a squat.
Damn right.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Right.
Bench press.
Yeah, I'd beat you in bench.
What do you bench?
Can't believe I'm speaking about this here.
You don't have to say.
I also try not I'm not really into lifting too heavy,
Of
or
course.
pushing myself to I guess hypertrophy. I'm looking for,
Yeah.
but want to do it nice. Like I want to be nice to my joints.
That's true.
And I also
Sorry, I'm just looking at the. Okay. Sorry.
still going.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're chill.
You're more focused on
Probably- functionality.
Yeah.
And I like
Crazy heavy doesn't mean it optimized muscle growth.
yeah.
It's more so if you lift.
Crazy.
You gotta
heavy-
find the in
crazy
between.
Heavy
You gotta-
means that you're not.
There's no point lifting. It's again mechanical advantage. There's no point lifting a 1 pound weight 1,000 times, and there's also no point lifting a 1,000 pound weight once. You got to find that middle ground. Maybe lift
Yeah.
an 100 pound weight 10 times.
Well, for different types of things, different people will do. Like
Of course.
lifting the 1 pound once would be 1,000 pound once would be like power lifters or something.
Yeah.
Because that's their thing.
And
getting maxing out and trying to get bigger and bigger every time is their goal. I think my goal, and I think there's a lot of people can hold this sentiment, is have I already said sentiment today? I feel like
Maybe.
I have. A lot of people.
If so, I'll do a sentiment counter.
Yeah, there you go, number 2.
So I just added to it.
I feel like a lot of people have this sentiment
Nice.
about, I guess, where they want especially if they're focusing on their body or just being physical and being active, is at least where I'm at, is I want to find that very happy, that silver line
Yeah.
between, or almost just the perfect balance of optimizing my body to be as functional as possible.
Yep.
In terms of strength, athleticism, those will in turn affect how my body looks as well, which is a nice
That's true.
additive thing. It's not why I do it necessarily. It's a part of it. I'm not
Mhm.
going to lie.
Of course.
I want to look better. I want to be my best. I want to be my best self. I'm in my villain era right now. And
No one's in their villain era. That was 2022, man. Everyone's in their.
my crackhead era.
No, everyone's in there I have no enemy. I have no enemies.
Everyone's in their
Sam Sulek era.
No, everyone's in their boyfriend dinner. This is such a boy dinner, and we're back. All right, guys. I think we're gonna wrap the episode up here. I guess time for our movie music recommendation.
Yep.
Sorry, just got the giggles. We've had a long couple cuts of just tangential things that aren't making the cut
Agreed.
for multiple reasons. But I already know what Alex's recommendation is, and I want him to let you guys know about it and why he's giving it to you. So my music recommendation is Baba Yaga, which is a filthy funk song, or if that's a bit too like weird or I guess loud and abrasive for you. Say You, Say Me by Lionel Richie is a pretty polar opposite of song of that. A pretty polar opposite song to Baba Yaga. So yeah, Say You, Say Me or Baba Yaga.
Cool. My TV show recommendation is the show You on Netflix.
A pretty well liked show.
Yep.
Joe
Joe
Steingoldberg.
Goldberg,
Yep.
played by Penn Badgley. I think he's
Great.
He's like the only really reoccurring character. It's like literally him. He's always encountering new people as he progresses from season to season.
Do you think it's about him as a person though, or do you think it's about the other people?
I think he's one of the main characters, but because he's not really a hero, he's kind of an anti-hero. If not, he's the antagonist of the show.
But it's his story to tell, isn't it?
Yes. I think it's kind of like Avengers Infinity War. That wasn't really an Avengers movie. It was, if anything, it was the Thanos movie, because Thanos won in the end, and he's therefore the protagonist, even though he is the villain. So I think while Joe is the protagonist, he's also the villain within the story. So I would say, if anything, the main characters are like the women he encounters, like his love interests within each season.
Yeah, but because it's through his
eyes. He's an unreliable narrator, and that goes to like extreme limits, especially in the newest season.
Oh, really?
Which I won't spoil, but
do you recommend the new season?
It goes like crazy out of hand. If you like the show, you should keep watching it. It is good enough. It does take, I think the problem was they were trying new things. It didn't necessarily land perfectly. I think they did want to switch it up.
The last season, or is there another part 2?
So there's season 1, which is him in New York with Guinevere Beck.
Yeah.
There's season 2,
Hottie.
where he's with Love Quinn.
Hottie.
In LA. There's season 3.
Neighbor.
Where it's his...
Hello, you.
Well, you clearly haven't seen it, because it's
Neighbor.
Like, yeah, sure.
Sorry.
And then season 4.
What's 3?
It's kind of a spoiler, so I won't say. He's in the LA suburbs.
But that's when he's looking over the fence after he's with Gwen. He goes.
So you've only seen till the end of season 2.
I think I've seen 3 as well.
Okay.
I watched.
And
it
then season 4, he's in London and he's taken on a new identity. And now there's going to be season 5 where it's the final season, and he's going. You know what? I won't spoil it.
So
I think it's.
What I was worried is that they'd recycle. Like
they do switch it up. They do really try to switch it up
in 4,
in 3 and 4.
3, yes.
The fact that you haven't seen 3, I don't think you have seen 3.
I have. Yeah. So, I have seen 3 as we've just figured out. And yeah, you're right. They did mix it up, and I liked 3,
and they mixed it up again in season 4 to a limited success. I think in season 5 they're going to go back to the classic, even though the status quo has changed. Without spoiling it, the way the show is set up is a different situation to how the previous seasons have like started.
Yep.
Like Joe is in a new environment and a new like situation that he hasn't found himself in before.
Okay.
So I think it can lead to successful and compelling stories in that manner. And because it's the series finale, like it's the final season, I think they're going to like pull out all the stops, and I think it's going to be a satisfying conclusion to the story.
It's going to end in a big way.
I think so. And that's what makes me
prediction
excited.
here, Joe's going to
die
or kill himself.
I don't think so. I think you should watch season 4, and then you should
really,
if you want.
No, I will.
It is a bit of it's a bit of you could watch a recap if you
want.
Nah,
if it's different, I'll give it a watch.
It's not like,
and I like Penn Badgley's performance.
Yeah, I think he carries the show. I think
the performances in general are quite good.
Yeah. Cool. All right, I think we've delved on You enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would recommend that. I think it's a good TV show. Overall, I think it's really good. There are a few hit and misses within the show, but I think overall it's a really good television show to consume.
And has like kind of boosted a lot of careers.
Yeah, that's true.
Jenna Ortega.
Yeah.
Chris.
I knew about Jenna Ortega before she was cool.
From what?
from you.
I don't think that was the first thing she was in. Hey,
Nah, she was the president's daughter in Iron Man 3. I knew it from then. Not that that's...
true. I feel like she was on a Disney Channel show.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure she was. Anyway.
Cool.
Cool.
Thanks for watching. Come back next time, and we'll chat to you some more.
Yep. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. That's all for now.
Peace.
See you
Have a good
later.
one. We're eggs on toast.
Cheers, guys.